What the deal, everybody? What's going on, man? Thank you for tuning in. Yes, indeed. Got to put that out real quick. I got to come through with a quick notation because, of course, every day I got so much on my mind and so much goes through the head. You know what I mean? Not even. I think I got to be more choosy with the words. Things just don't go through the head. It comes to me. Some things stay, some things go away, and the things that got to go away is the shit that basically it's things that really don't mean much, right? It could be carnal, it could be like not even that, valuable to even speak upon. However, moving forward, let me say this, y'all. Let me say this. I've been in addition to my everyday observations, I gotta say, I love what I'm receiving. It's kind of hard to withhold. In other words, meaning that I'm holding so much in on a day-to-day, uh, day-to-day process or progress, I would have to say, because I learn something new every day. And if I'm not learning something new, I'm being reminded of something. Trust me when I tell you, right? So, dig. I just commonly find that when it comes to talking real situations, just anything that speaks on reality and the irrefutable truths and the profound truths, it's like I guess I got to find a way to deliver it because when it gets too thick, what I noticed that it shakes up a lot of people and they would rather bypass, neglect, or disregard some of that real talk that be coming out. And I'll be scratching my head like I'll be wondering as to why, like why? Is it because people they don't want to be reminded of what have to be fixed? Although I know in saying so that life surely comes with its uh, not only struggles but complexities, right? Because you will be like, well, like me, for instance, I may drink my Guinness here and there, or drink whatever choice of alcohol I want to drink, and I may smoke my Black and Mild, or I may, let's say, I go to tote weed, right? And I come out and I say something heavy, and it's so profound. People will be like, well, how can you try to say what you say and you trying to sound like you a righteous being and you a man of God and you're giving in to sin, which is the temptations of smoking and drinking, which defiles the body, right? So many people always say, well, you defiling your body, so who are you to even speak on this or speak on that? And as true as that may sound or seem, I have to ask my question like, well, hey, when I speak something that's real, well, why can't I let it out? Why can't I share? Why can I not share it with whoever wants to pick up the seed along the way? You know what I mean? Why not? And if I withhold too much, then people want to be like, "Well, you're a hoarder of information. You hoarding all the good jewels." And I'm like, "Well, that's what you say, and not what everybody say has to be true. That's their opinion. That's their feelings upon it. It could be true to a degree, but then again, information is power. Right now, that's all I have, and I believe is actually more valuable than the kind of money that somebody could be making at a basic 9 to 5. Because wisdom and knowledge ought to have you succeeding. And in saying so, I know that I'm still going through my troubles and my trials and tribulations, in which we all are. Um, New levels to this every time you learn something new, you stepping up in the ranks, and we always look to show ourselves approved. And I say, well, with my optimistic mindset and my own being, I know that I'm being tested, just as we all are. And you can call them whatever you want to call them. I don't dig into the conspiracies. You can call them archons, you can call them aliens, you can call them Anunnaki, Sumerians, whatever. You know what I mean? Because I could break a lot of that down. And then when I break it down, what is it that the people going to say? Right? Well, what he said may sound true, but it's not valid because he don't got a job. Oh, it may not sound valid because he don't got a congregation. He don't have a church. He don't have an institution. And commonly I find like that or those things to be obtained or required in regards of a business, a church where I can now file, or anyone can file for 50 what 501 501c or something like that. And I'm like, well, let's not disregard or forget that there's a lot of people that had church congregations and they've been scandaled. Not only have they been scandaled, but they may have done some things. Listen to my key words. They may have done some things allegedly that got them in a house of ill repute. So, and that's where the complexities of life come in, because what happens is so many people would hear something or they would see something, and based on what they know, based on what they have within their heads, they will equate that to what's happening to the person who's being judged or persecuted or put on trial for by whatever means, and say, well, hey, you know what? That person is this, that person is that. We hear something and we run with it, rather than to apply critical thinking. Or we could just be like, yo, I'm gonna mind my business. I know what I know. I'm gonna continue to accentuate the positive the best way that I know how, and wish the best for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because what I find funny is that a lot of people want to revere the book, whether it's a Bible or a Quran, where both of them talks about, love your enemy. And when, and speaking and loving your enemy, which is a video that I spoke upon a long time ago, early on in my, after my awakening and continuing to grow in knowledge, I spoke upon that in one of my videos, and I got no feedback from anybody. I got no feedback. In fact, I haven't got no views on that video, and this is the exact reason why I took down a lot of my videos and I put it on a memory stick, right, or a flash drive. And now I gotta go ahead and go into that real quick, brothers and sisters. I've lost or misplaced my hard drive, my flash drive, and that's hurting me right now, because I was at the tail end of completing my poetry book, right, which was a book of poetical verses, or just verses that I put together, and I was putting it in stanzas, and huh, I was so close as to being in chapter. I think I was in chapter 11, and there's like right or chapter 12, because I believe there's about 15 chapters and 14 chapters and 15 as a conclusion to wrap up the book. So I was close, and all of a sudden, about 4 days ago, my flash drive ended up being misplaced, and I lost it, and that's hurting me, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how it happened. It's crazy. But what I'm beginning to see is that through and through, as I make my recollections as to how I'm going through it, how I'm going through my day-to-day basis, and what I'm thriving for and what I aspire to accomplish, is that I'm being forced to, more so, I am being forced to not only show myself approved, which is, of course, the means to this test, but I'm being forced to, in other words, I'm being processed also by the elites. And I know I'm not tripping, where they watching what I'm doing and how I do it. And when there seems to be some infractions, they step in, which is like a shadow government or a ninja clan, and then things, boom, end up missing. Now, some people may not even know what I'm talking about. They be like, yo, what is he saying? He's bugging out. I could say, well, hey, I I may have misplaced that flash drive due to my own negligence of being more thorough and careful in my steps. So that is quite, and I do hold myself accountable. At the end of the day, I'm not blaming nobody, but I know I can feel it in my heart, and I have it here that because I've been, eating certain things and whatnot, I know that rather to sum it all up, to indulge in some things is it's sort of like, if you can follow me, because whatever we eat, whatever we drink, whatever we do is being recorded and is linked to an elite force, those of the righteous and those of the darkness, right? So, and if anybody think that there's a game out here being played where there's no such thing as mind control, well then you tripping, because I've done had times where I had some interactions with not only people, but just in things that I do and eat where I know I feel like I'm not supposed to, and I got a little bit dizzy, and all of a sudden I misplaced something, or I forgot to grab my charger here, or you feel me? In other words, I got a little bit lackadaisical or somewhat forgetful, and I believe it has to do with my state of health. Um, it has to do with the things that I'm eating and the things that's on my mind, because I do like everyone else. We gotta fight hard, yo. We gotta fight hard to train our mind, right? Becoming fortified, to becoming very thorough, to becoming very skillful and tactful in what we do, to keep everything in order. And I think this is why I haven't been uh, exalted to be a wonderful leader and a leading example of what it is to be uh, a man of integrity, someone who is becoming well learned. And it's like, well, because I did this or because I did that, boom, the heavenly creator could just take this from me, could take that from me. Same thing applies to every other human being, no matter what color you are. And this is exactly why I spoke about I respect the art of war, not in regards of any bloodshed. I don't dig that kind of warfare. Although I know it's out there, but there's a game and there's tac- tactful games being played behind that too. Because a lot of what's happening on TV and these so-called wars is not as bloody or heinous as you think. Trust me when I tell you. If you got sound right reason and you're knowledgeable of what takes place in and around you, and you tap into science and mathematics, you begin to put things all together. And yeah, I know that I'm being tested, and I know because some of the things that I have been indulging in have put me in a place where it's like, yo, you ain't ready yet. You ain't ready yet to take first place. You're not ready to lead. You're not ready to lead by example. You're not ready to, thus and so. But that's not gonna hold me back. I'm not using that as an excuse for my you know my lack of acquiring or establishing certain things I know I want to, because I'm gonna keep going as long as God give me breath. But I could just feel it where I know, like, hey, I gotta get more. I gotta step it up. I gotta shape up on some things, because I should have never misplaced that, knowing that not only the book was on that flash drive, but it was pictures. It was all of my videos that I've took down from YouTube that I wanted to keep with me. Like, that's something that I was gonna put in a safety deposit box. You know what I'm saying? And then keep that to pass on. You know what I mean? Keep that to reference. I would have used the material and the content I had on there in the future, you know, for referencing purposes. So I know, I could feel it in my bones. I could feel it in my spirit that, yeah, I'm being shown because, this world has a way of, showing you things, which is all I feel, what could I say, is partly due unto me, but ultimately, all things on a universal level is done by the Creator. For what you give the Creator, you will be rewarded. What you don't and what you lack on and become apathetic of, you will be rewarded for that too. In other words, punished. Because our reward or award could be punishment, chastisement. Because I feel hurt for misplacing that and losing it. I'm like, yo, I called up the library, which I know I was working on. I would go there, insert the flash drive, do what I do, type in, save, and I'm out for the day. Come back another day, someone, and I was moving like that. You know what I'm saying? So is I'm trying to be calm about it and optimistic. I went back. They said that no, they haven't recovered it. Now, I can't just go around and ask people. Blame, it was a whole nother day. So I was hoping like, hey, maybe some honest person handed it in, but no. Um, I kept it in my bag. Actually, this jacket that I have on now, I had put it here in the pocket, in the inside pocket. I didn't turn this jacket upside down. I kept it on me at basically all times, and if I didn't and I took it off of me, it was right here on my bag. Like if I get up in the morning and I go brush my teeth in the restroom or something like that, it was right there. So it baffles me that that it ended up missing. The only place I can think about is the library, and I called them, and boom, they said no, we don't have it. So that hurt me, y'all. So I am pissed. But what I'm gonna do? Lash out, become belligerent? No, I'm gonna keep praying, and I'm hoping that it is recovered. I'm gonna go to the library and ask them again and again, and we're gonna see what happens. And I hope that it turns up. You feel me? In addition to that, I'm also, I want to get a podcast going, but it gets very tough for me because I'm like, I want to do these things, but I'm by myself. I don't want to do it totally by myself. I want to get some people included, but then it's so hard to trust people and get with people because it's like I feel that what I'm like where I stand in the spiritual realm, trying to move my way up in the ranks, and the Creator knows my potential. In addition to the elites out there, especially the European brothers and sisters, because they got a magnificent system that is tied into the universal law because they know a lot. And I see how they move around me. I can feel the energy and the eye contact I make with them that they know what's up, and there's a spirit moving through all of us. There's an energy that's moving through all of us. There's frequencies, there's vibrations. They know what's going on. They can tap into our phones, our computers. And when I say they, I'm not just talking about white people because we got black people, we got Indian people, we got Asian people. Okay, all kinds of people that know how to work these devices. They know how to hack it. They know how to chime in without us even knowing. Hence, the shadow government that I was talking about. They really out there. But I don't put it in the spooky sense. I just say, well, look. I just say, and I look at it like I really need to stay on my game. This is exactly why I need to. I say I be saying like I got to be more thorough. We got to be more thorough in our steps. And when things like that happen, I could be called out. Like, yo, you say this and that, but look how you misplaced this. Look how you misplaced that. It takes a lot of work to be the boss, man. You got to, okay, it's a lot. So, which is another reason why I said a long time ago in another one of my YouTube videos that for all of those that have good memory, I give it up to y'all. And y'all got a higher calling too, but it seems like So many people is rather tapping into the entertainment or tapping into things that rather entertain people than to really get to some serious work for the African community, especially those on the bottom level, in the ghetto hoods, in which I am making my way out of, even though I still traverse through here and there. Because I'm a universal soul, and so are you. It's just how we're moving up in these ranks, who we affiliated with, who are our acquaintances, colleagues, who we have in our circle. Everything is all related. Everything is all related. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I tell you, man. Nevertheless, moving forward, y'all, you know, it's going to take a lot. It's very hard for me, and it's very tough. I feel for anybody who's looking to take on a leadership position uh, to have and manage a movement, much less manage self. Because I believe if we can't manage self, then how can you look to manage anyone else? At the same time, as I say this, I'm thinking about those out there that I see on the road. That's I know, and I'm not saying I'm better than anyone, but I look at people out there, like couples in particular, especially women that got babies. And I'd be like, well, how did the Lord bless them with a baby? What is it that they got going on when I know they not where I am mentally? How did the Lord give them a baby? And they have this, because to have a child, that's a huge responsibility. So I'm saying, like, damn. Now I know what I just said about, you know, coming up in the ranks and showing myself approved and want to be this leader figure. For anybody that want to be a leading figure and lead by example, we're going to be watched, we're going to be tested on a day-to-day basis, yada yada yada. And I'm like, well, the same science applies here, applies there, boom boom boom. And this is exactly why I've been learning to grow that color is circumstantial, and we have to know how to put things in context and keep it in context. All right. And I'm like, this is why I feel like a lot of what we're dealing with, human and it, humanitarian wise, really doesn't have to do with color, but it's contextual and it's circumstantial. Color can play a game, but it has to be put into context and it has to be circumstantially fit. Can you dig what I'm saying? So, oh man, it's a heck of a job, man. So I would have to say big shout out to all of those out there that got it going on. Um, I would only hope and pray that I get together with some like-minded people that really want to shake things up in America, because there's a lot of things that has to be addressed. Um, a lot of us may not even know who our tribes are, or tribe is, and we're out here conversing or having controversy with someone of a sister tribe or brother tribe of our own tribe, X, Y, and Z, etc., etc. You feel me? This thing is so collaborative, it's so collective, and it's complex. Things can come off, things can seem very paradoxical, right? It could be here or there. This is heavy. This is heavy. But I'm gonna keep moving on and I'm gonna keep doing what I do. I'm moving at a pace, at my own pace, and I won't allow anyone to rush me. But I would have to say that I do give thanks for the love and support that I received, seen and unseen, for the prayers that I received, seen and unseen. And, you know, and me saying that, I already know that through universal law, what you put out is what you get back. So I wish the best for you, and let's just see what happens, particularly for my African family throughout the whole entire world. Because I got my work to do, you have your work to do, and we got to get this thing going. Um, I will be working on establishing my podcast, and it's just so hard for me because I got no particular income. I got no money set upon me where I can, purchase this or even have my own place where, where I can work on things with a more clearer mind and be more at ease. You know what I'm saying? I'm single, and I'm like, yo, there's so many things that's going on. It's so heavy, but I'm gonna keep going. You feel me? I'm gonna keep going, and it's like that. You dig? So I'm not giving up no way, no how. This thing gonna keep moving forward like a soul train truck. Remember that? Remember seeing that I mean that train. Excuse me. Remember that train on Soul Train? Remember that way when you saw it coming in? That's how it's moving, man. Cause I love my music. That music is therapy. It keeps me going every day. In addition to the prayers that I put out there, man. But this thing got it. I could feel it. I can see it. Just today, I was on the bus when I went to go visit my mom today, and we took a bus ride out on the Brownsville side. You know what I mean? We went somewhere, and there were some people acting up in the bus. Even a guy like a guy who was just by the time we got on the bus, and I don't know how long he was just talking, blabbering to people. And he's just putting on a show, and I'm like, I say, yo, ma, I don't understand how people get like that. Like, what is it that drives people to get them so whacked out? I don't understand. And this is why I'm like, yo, I'm over. I feel like I'm being crucified and chastised for my indulgences of may tote a black and mild or drink a beer or I eat cheese. I'm like, yo, if this thing, and I know I've said it before, where a lot of what we're dealing with is of the mind. But I'm like, yo, I put the prayers out. Excuse me. And I'm trying to establish this. I'm trying to establish that, but I'm getting a lot of resistance. And I'm like, all right, I could feel in part, which is, I know for sure that the rulers of this world, here in America particularly, have their hidden hand in this game. If y'all don't know about the shadow government, then you need to get more up on some teachings. And please, I'm not putting it out there with no negative connotation, but it's out here. Okay? Particularly those of the European Union, my Jewish brothers and sisters, cousins, nieces and nephews. You know, there's so much I'm going to talk about in the near future. I'm telling y'all, because y'all got to think. We got to think like, yo, particularly the African nation, that how is it that they have what they have, right, of the European Union? They have what they have, and they have control and power when we, the African race, the African group, have the capacities, the spiritual capacities, and the physical capacities to truly bring heaven down upon earth. We can bring hell on earth. We could do it all. So how is it that we still don't have our own communities, our own neighborhoods, our own businesses, X, Y, and Z? And it's like we got all these people going to school, getting masters, getting bachelors, getting associate's degrees, all these degrees, and it's like here we are in 2023, and it's still, even in the lowest parts of the hood, we still don't have power and exercising it and showing by example. Like, hey, Creator, here's what we're doing. Bless us with more. Bless us with more abundance. We're losing. We're winning, but we're losing. We have so much potential, which is exponential. And I'm like, yo, it baffles me, y'all. And I just want to give some righteous brothers and sisters, or any brothers and sisters that's looking to really make a change in this world, to really shake things up in a good way, to to really make a profound change and impact here in America. And let's see where it goes, because at the end of the day, we all have to, get ready for the Exodus. And when I say Exodus, meaning, and this applies to everybody of all color, to help Africa and to partner with Africa and let the world receive its abundance from the Heavenly Father. And that right there especially goes out to my European family. Because I know a lot of y'all get proud, a lot of y'all are braggadocious, a lot of y'all are conceited. Okay, I give it up to y'all for y'all studies and what you can retain, your memory recall. That pleases the Father. Staying as clean as you can be, that pleases the Heavenly Father, the Creator. Yes, it does. But the record will always show that we got work to do, because when Africa is out of order, this whole world will continue to experience um, climatic shifts, turmoil, violence, degradation, degeneration, X, Y, and Z. Trust me. So I know I'm not the only one out here that have my assignment. We all have our assignments. It's just that people out there veering off to the world, going through the broad gate, and leadeth on to destruction. Huh? But I still say my prayers for everybody, and I know I got my work to do. And as long as God give me breath, I'm gonna move at my pace, at God's speed, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be, with all love and light. So peace, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, and just want to put that message out there. Hope that it reached you, and you pass the word on, pay it forward. Hope that you got something from this. You dig? This is Spiritual Sustenance. Your boy Leo was there. Ashe. Peace and love. Holla.